mindset that when you're making videos, you gotta tell them to subscribe because it works. Well, that's what I just told you to do. If you like anything that I have to say. So this morning, I probably should have woke up a little bit earlier. So, I'll tell you, getting married is great, man, and my wife is great. She almost every morning has my lunch made up in the refrigerator for me, and all I gotta do is throw it in my lunchbox, and then I'm ready to go. But every once in a while, she forgets to do it, and then I'm not aware of that until I'm downstairs, and you know, I only have so much time before I have to leave. But this morning I had to make my own lunch, and that's really no big deal, especially considering you know, she cleaned up the whole house yesterday, and it looks really great. It looks really great. She does so much, you know, and you really have to pull your own weight in a marriage, and you know, I do my best, and my wife does great. But it did make me a couple minutes later than normal. Like, well, not really. I was still able to get it done pretty quick. So all I did was I made a turkey bacon egg wrap. I was gonna use one of these like low carb whole wheat tortilla things. They're like no carbs, no sugar, no nothing. And those are good. I like those things, but I figured it would be even better if I didn't take the hard-boiled eggs, and because I would get 3 hard-boiled eggs normally, but I traded in the 3 hard-boiled eggs for 3 scrambled eggs, and I used the eggs as a wrap. Because, well, I guess I mixed up the eggs into like a batter, and then I just let it cook like a pancake. So I didn't like move it around into chunks with the spatula. I just let it kind of solidify on the bottom, flipped it, let it cook on the other side, and then I used that as a wrap, dude. 3 eggs in like a 9-inch pan make a pretty nice little, it's thicker than a tortilla, but you can use it as a tortilla. And then I just put 5 pieces of bacon in there, and then that'll be like the main course of my lunch. So that's sweet. It doesn't take very long to cook that, especially because I just put the flame on low, and then I go about the other stuff that I'm doing. And plus, you know, that would pretty much be my breakfast that I used to eat anyway. But for this week, my wife did this really cool thing. She mixed up some eggs and some sausage and some bacon and like some spices and stuff, and mixed it into a bowl, and then poured it into a muffin cooking sheet. And so I have like these little egg sausage muffins, and I just throw them in the microwave every morning. So that took care of my breakfast, and then the bacon and eggs would pretty much be my breakfast anyway. So I guess it's a lot of bacon and eggs and sausage for today, but whatever, I like all that stuff. And man, eggs aren't bad for you. They're pretty good for you, and they're filling. So I definitely recommend eggs. So I don't think they're super high in calories, especially if you get rid of the yolks. But the meal plan has the yolks included. But all of my calories are pretty much counted out for every day. I actually might have messed up. My wife sent me a picture of my meal plan for today, and I opened up the message, and then I forgot about it. I went downstairs and took a shower and stuff, and I was getting ready, and then I looked in the fridge, and I didn't see my bag that's normally in there. And then I forgot that she sent me that message, so I might have had a food prescription that I'm not following even closely. But I've got a couple of string cheese things, a couple of cheese, like a string cheese, and then cheddar cheese stick. That egg bacon wrap I was talking about. And then this thing that my wife made, it's like a broccoli, cheese, and bacon, and ranch mix. I think you call it like broccoli salad. Kind of like a potato salad, but instead of disgusting mayonnaise, there's delicious ranch in it, which is like way better. Ranch is way better. It's like a homemade ranch. She took sour cream and mayonnaise and then mixed in this ranch spice or whatever. And I don't know how ranch is normally made, but this stuff is kind of like ranch. It tastes good. It's all right, as long as it's just a thin layer on whatever you're eating. You know, if there was a puddle at the bottom of the bowl, you're like, oh geez, that's way too much. But yeah, I've been listening to Eminem's new album that came out last week. I think this is, yeah, it makes a week today. Came out a week ago today. And man, I really like it, dude. I like it as much as the Kamikaze album, maybe more. It's pretty badass, dude. Because that Godzilla rap that he did, when he starts going super fast at the end, that was wild, man. That dude's so talented. And he's got like the rhyme schemes like I've never heard anybody else do. I liked Lil Wayne way back in the day. I haven't heard any new stuff from him in a long time, but I haven't really been looking out for it either. But I definitely hear about Eminem, especially on YouTube when people like. You guys ever see reaction channels? I think those are kind of fun, you know, especially for Eminem songs, because they point out stuff that I never even heard in songs that I've been listening to for like decades. Like I can't think of an example, but I know the song Mosh by Eminem, dude. Somebody pointed out something in that song, but I can't remember what it was now. But oh Jesus, I've been listening to that song since it came out. I think that was the Encore album. Yeah, I really like that song. Any song that's just like, you know, distrustful or critical of the government, I'm down. Another really great song for that is from I would say more my genre of music is Critical Acclaim by Avenged Sevenfold. What a masterpiece. What a masterpiece that song is. I really love Avenged Sevenfold. I would say that they are far and above anyone else my favorite band. Yeah, far and above. And before I really got into Avenged Sevenfold, it was Linkin Park. And probably millions of people would say that Linkin Park is their favorite band. Or they would have said it, you know. I saw them live 3 times. I saw them play live in 2007 when they were on the Project Revolution tour at the Blossom Music Center. And I remember we saw Mindless Self-Indulgence. Anybody know them? Wow, what a crazy band they are. I had heard a bunch of their music from some friends of mine in high school who showed it to me. And I really liked some of their stuff. You know, it was pretty wild and ridiculous. But man, they were fun live. The lead singer of MSI, he climbed up on the speakers and like took his pants down, and he was just standing there in his boxers singing one of the songs. I don't know how you can forget that. That was weird. I thought he was gonna go totally naked, but he didn't do it. He probably would have had the cops show up if he did that. That was a memorable experience. And then in 2008, actually in 2007, also the runner-up band was like the last band before Linkin Park was My Chemical Romance. And man, I checked out some of their music after I saw them live, because I had never really heard of them, or maybe I heard of them, but I didn't really know their music. But man, their live performance was some of the best stuff I'd ever seen on a stage. They were really great. Really, really great. The live performance was excellent. I liked that a lot better than the music I heard after I got home and downloaded some of their albums and listened to them. And like, that's cool, but it's just, I don't know, they're in a different lane. I'm in a different lane. It's not really for me. But the talented artist, very talented artist. It was cool to see them live. I would see them again. I don't know if I would make a special trip, but if they were there, I would consider it definitely an added benefit, and I wouldn't miss that show if they were on tour with another band that I really love. And then I saw them again in 2008, and that is the first time. So there was 2 stages, and in 2007, MSI was like the headliner at the small stage earlier in the day, and then in 2008 it was the headliner on the small stage again. I had never heard of this band, but now they're one of my favorite metal bands, and I love them. I follow them whenever they drop a new album. I'm on it the first day, and that band was Atreyu. Now, Atreyu, as much as I was talking about My Chemical Romance and seeing Linkin Park live, and I actually saw Avenged Sevenfold live too in 2013. But man, Atreyu was my favorite live performance that I've ever seen. That was the best one. That was so much fun, man. The crowd was going crazy, dude. Mosh pit, crowd surfing. It was so much fun, dude. That was definitely my favorite concert, or my favorite band at any concert. And I haven't been to a whole lot of concerts, because it was just those 2, and then I went to Avenged Sevenfold in 2013. And while Atreyu was my favorite like concert experience, the best performance, and I might have just said that about Atreyu, and I'm not consistent at all on this. What just happened? I don't know, something about recording video. So I might have just said that Atreyu was my favorite live performance, but no, it was probably the best experience I had going to a concert, just because it was so fun in the crowd, and the energy of that music is just incredible. Oh yeah, I love it. They've got a couple of great songs to check out. Honor, Honor. Check that one out. Honor by Atreyu. See if you don't fall in love. That song is about fighting back depression, but it's really badass. And you might not catch that it's about depression at first. It sounds more like they're about to go fight a person, but they're not. So that's a really great song. But when I saw Avenged Sevenfold, that was probably the best live performance ever, just because of they had pyrotechnics. Wow, dude. And then at the high moments of the songs where you wanted to like just really hear like a loud bang, like the highest moment of the song, they had something in there it was at the Red Wing Stadium in Detroit. They had something in that stadium that sounded like cannon fire. So at like the hardest moment of the song, boom, you would hear a cannon fire go off at the same time. I don't know what was actually making that noise, but it was some sort of bomb, dude. It had to be. I don't think you can make that sound with a speaker. that was part of, the pyrotechnician took care of that. And I don't know how they timed it perfectly like that, but man, oh man, was that awesome. Probably the loudest noise I've ever heard. Inside a building, anyway. Wow. Yeah, that was awesome. If you ever get a chance to see Avenged Sevenfold and you like them at all, go see them. awesome. The flames shooting up into the air. And yeah, dude, I really love their new album that they came out with, The Stage. That album might be my favorite album, period. It might be. I really love that thing. You start out with Paradigm. Well, you start out with The Stage, and that's a really good one. Who is the crowd that peers through the cage? Who is the crowd that peers through the cage? As we perform here upon the stage. So it's like, who's out there looking down on us here on Earth? And are we just here? Are we just here? Like, what was that Jim Carrey movie where his life was a joke? His life wasn't even real. He was just on a TV show. Maybe that's us. Maybe that's like the whole world. We're just on a stage. Who is the crowd that peers through the cage as we perform here on the stage? Pretty cool one. And then Paradigm is the second song, and that's about a guy who just slowly gets replaced by mechanical parts and like kind of becomes Darth Vader. But not, you know, not a Star Wars character, just slowly replaced and turned into a robot. And that song is really awesome. And then one more song that I can think of off the top of my head to talk about is Simulation. That song has a weird sound to it. Well, the whole album has a weird sound to it, but if you really listen to it and break it down, it's incredible. And Simulation is probably the best example of that, because it sounds like a low-key song, and then it just goes hard into some metal, dude, out of nowhere. And you realize that the soft parts is this guy living in the Matrix, quote-unquote, living in the Matrix. And then the heavy metal is him starting to realize that he's being tricked and his world isn't real. And he's trying to wake up. He's trying to wake up, man. He wants to wake up so bad, but you know, he gets put back down, put back in the Matrix, and just, you know, can't escape. And then it goes back to the soft music. And then, you know, the heavy metal comes back again. And there's a couple of cycles like that. And eventually, does he get out or doesn't he get out? I don't know. You gotta listen to the song Simulation by Avenged Sevenfold. I'm gonna be listening to that one today. That's a really great song. That whole album is great. And then the end of it, Exist. Wow, man. Dude, that song, the first half of it, there's no words at all. It's just face-melting metal, dude. Liquid hot, face-melting metal. And then the second half is a little bit of lyrics, some really cool guitar, and then like a couple minutes from Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about just the world and how long the universe has been here and how many stars there are. There's so many stars. There's more stars than there have been seconds of time. More stars than words or sounds ever uttered by everyone who has ever lived, he says. And the song is over 15 minutes long. Over 15 minutes long for one song. Pretty awesome stuff. But I'm at work now, so it's time to end this thing. I'll be uploading it here in just a minute.